Alright, I'm not in the mood to waste any time today. Let's jump right into it. So, when I made those Kirby Dach videos a couple of weeks back, talking about how I personally think that Kirby Dach was a steal for the Montreal Canadiens, and essentially how Kent Hughes turned Alexander Romanov into Kirby Dach. And look, on the surface, a ton of Habs fans, I understand Romanov and his absolutely bone-bruising hits, okay, and the open ice and against the boards. The Habs fans loved him. He was young, he was blossoming, he was getting better. Yes, he had some defensive lapses, he had some holes in his game, but he was still young, he was growing, and Habs fans wanted to keep him as a project. Therefore, I saw a ton of people in the comments saying this was not a steal. Romanov was shaping up to be one of, if not the best defenseman on the Montreal Canadiens very, very soon. And this is going to be something that when you get a guy like Kirby Dach, who a lot of people think he's most likely a bust, given how he played the past couple of seasons, it looks like a lot of Habs fans were not too happy about losing Alexander Romanov. And I know it's Romanov, but I'm going to call him Romanov still, okay? So I think that, to me, when I look at Romanov, I did see a good young defenseman. However, to me, what I saw was a guy who's going to cap out. If he reaches his top potential, and that's top potential, I think he's a number 2 defenseman in the NHL. And even that, I think, is pushing it. I think realistically, this guy's a very good second pairing defenseman, a number 3 or a number 4 on a decent, good team. I think there's definitely some teams who, if they're thin on defense, they'll push him up and hope that he becomes a very good number 1 or number 2, but I think he'd be out of his element. Whether now or in 5 years, wherever you want, I think that's what Romanov is. And now, as a follow-up to that, you're probably thinking, Johnny, what's so bad about having a very good number 3 or number 4 defenseman on the second pair? That's how you win, okay? You need guys like that, like McDonough or Sergachev, that type of player and that type of ilk. Those are great players that are not easy to find. Here's my response to that. Kent Hughes, that he knows that it's an embarrassment of riches on the back end for him. I mean, do I need to list all the guys? Caden Gooley looks like he's going to be Romanov on steroids here. Okay, we've got guys like Arbor Xhekaj coming down the pipe for the Montreal Canadiens. Justin Barron, I've mentioned these names before. They're awesome. Norlinder looks like a player. There's a bunch of guys that I'm even forgetting. Lane Hudson coming out of nowhere. Looks like the next Quinn Hughes out here. So, dude, they will be fine. They needed help down the middle in the future, okay? You cannot rely on Christian Dvorak to be in your top 6 for years and years to come, I don't think. You lost Kotkaniemi. There's no Thomas Plekanec kicking around anymore. You've got Suzuki, and he needed help down the middle, and that's why it's Kirby Dach. And that's why they were willing to part ways with Romanov. Do you really think if there's no Justin Barron, there's no Gooley, there's no Xhekaj, there's no Norlinder, that Kent Hughes goes out and trades one of his best young defensemen? Absolutely not. Now, is he going to regret it? Look, I personally don't think Romanov is going to be amazing on that Islanders blue line. And we've got the whole KHL story coming through as well, but I'm strictly going to stick under the assumption that this guy's going to be playing for the New York Islanders next season. I don't think he's going to turn into like this star defenseman. I know that's not what he's projected as anymore, but before he played, when he was like, I'm talking pre-bubble around that time in 2020, a ton of people were talking about Romanov as the next number 1 defenseman on the Montreal Canadiens. I personally don't think he's going to be that, obviously, but on the Islanders, I think in a few years, Habs fans are going to look at that blue line, they're going to see Romanov on it, if he's still there, and they're going to say, meh, it's all right. I mean, he's decent, but look who we have. I really think that's what the case is going to be. I do not think the Montreal Canadiens are going to regret losing Romanov. I don't think we have a Sergachev situation on our hands here where the Habs are going to look at it and say, man, imagine if we had Sergachev instead of Drouin right now, or Drouin. Man, do I get flamed in the comments for that one, eh? So I'll say both from now on. I don't think we got another situation like that for Romanov. I really think that they're going to look back and they're going to be like indifferent. They'll be happy that he's doing decent on another team. He's going to be very passable. I don't want to say forgettable, but he's going to be one of those steady, regular defensemen that's bland. Okay, it's like he's going to be like getting a hot dog with no sauce or nothing on it. Okay, it's still a hot dog. It's fine. It'll taste okay, but there's no ketchup. There's no mustard. There's no relish. That, to me, is what Romanov is going to be here. And I think that the Habs, they've got some chili cheese dogs coming down the pipe here. Guys who are going to be really good, really flavorful and interesting. I'll stop with these stupid comparisons, but you know what I mean. Like, I really do think that the Habs are not going to regret losing Alexander Romanov, and they'll be just fine. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.